Well, I gotta say, guys, the rent has changed on this day. January 4th, 2024. Time is 8:29 p.m. as we are shooting this one. It's a Thursday night. And I gotta say, we got some bad news about the rent. And so far, I think everybody is going to be mad that they weren't notified by the landlord or given a sheet of paper saying that the rent was going to go up. 3 bedrooms are going up, 2 bedrooms are probably going to be a little less than what they're asking for in price. But anyway, I gotta say, I was at Whataburger tonight and one of the SWF members had called me saying, hey, you owe $44 towards your rent. I was like, what? $44? I mean, I've already paid rent. What are you talking about? And she's like, well, rent gone up. How come nobody told me about that? Whose fault is that, by the way? Apparently, it might be the landlord's fault because she didn't write a piece of paper saying that rent was going up at the first of the month. Whose fault is that anyway? I mean, come on. The landlord has a responsibility to write on a piece of paper saying that rent is going up the first of the month from $381 to $404.33. I was so angry when I heard that for the first time. And I said, well, what the heck is that all about? Why are they going up all of a sudden on these rooms? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, we got to make money somehow. I'm like, money has nothing to do with the reason why rent's going up. Why? And she wouldn't give me a straight, honest answer. And I don't know, guys. And my roommate, he's like, oh, I know why rent's going up. It's because of stupid inflation that all of us have to deal with, and the digital currency, the dollar, they're trying to get rid of United States dollars. And he's being all political about it. I'm like, look, man, don't bring your politics, your wokeness in this time that we're facing right now. When we weren't even notified that the rent was going up, it didn't say it on the sheet of paper. All it said was, oh, you got to check your parking permits. If your parking permit is not renewed, they tow the vehicle away. And then rent is due at the first of the month. And if you're late, then they charge you $110. That's like a 10% right there on the fee, which will be covering the next portion of the rent that you would pay. Then all of a sudden, you'd have to pay that fee on your rent. And tell you one thing, I got plumb aggravated when they didn't say anything. That was their first mistake. And their second mistake, they didn't put it on a piece of paper saying, oh, rent's going up at the first of the month. This and that. Yada, yada, yada. Or yada, yada, yada. Where'd that come from? But anyway. So yeah, I'm just going on my sheet of paper. And now that's how much that we'd have to pay. That is myself, my roommate, and then the one that's got the room with the built-in restroom and walk-in closet. He has to pay a little bit more. And I gotta say, this is just absolutely stupid. Why are we getting charged $44 more on our current rent bill when 381 is reasonable. I mean, why are they deciding, oh, we could go up on rent? We don't have to tell people about it. Why? I mean, goodness gracious me, why? And I came like very angry when I heard that rent was going up. And this is just stupid. I mean, now it's going to be $404.33. And that's going to be monthly. And, this is just stupid. How am I going to be able to afford trying to make a budget and all knowingly that all this money that I'm hard working for goes directly to SWF, to the rent, to the Wi-Fi and electric bill? How in the heck am I supposed to do these things? Am I having to work my tail end off just to make amends meet or whatever? No, the real problem is the San Antonio mayor, Ron Nirenberg, decided to vote, yeah, let's go ahead and upcharge the property taxes and everything else like that. He voted, oh, raise up taxes or this or that. That's a bad idea, And, my roommate was telling me all about that. He's like, oh, I saw that on the news. I'm like, look, I don't watch the news. I don't watch what they say. I don't care what they are saying. Believe it or not, fake news, I don't want to hear it. What they do is none of my business. I'm trying to keep that out. I don't want no part of that. I mean, we're not discussing the fake news or what Biden is doing or what anybody else is doing. We're talking about the rent that we just now got updated, or, let me breathe here for a second. We're not talking about the woke political news. I mean, that's the one thing that we're just not talking about. We're talking about the rent, why it went up, why we were not told that it was going up, and why did they not even say anything to us? Why didn't they write it on that piece of paper? That was their two mistakes that they made. And now I think everybody has to pay for now getting upcharged. I really find that like very aggravating. I mean, I'm aggravated that we no longer pay $381. Now we're getting bumped up to $400. Well, $4 more after that. It's a total of $404.33. And I mean, it's just aggravating. I mean, I tell you. But anyway, I guess I have to pay out of pocket on what I have to pay him. I told my dad about it. He's like, well, Jonathan, you can't do anything about it. That's part of inflation, If you're going to have a hard time trying to get your bills paid, then, I mean, shoot. I've never think that this start of the year in 2024 was going to be the first thing that we have to deal with. It's, guess, kind of stupid. That, no, my dad's like, oh, Jonathan, you have to pay what they tell you have to pay. And it's because of inflation. It's because a lot of people are getting upcharged and a lot of property taxes, this and that. I think it's unfair. I mean, what do you guys think? Are you being treated unfair or what? I think it's unfair 100% that we were not told about the rent going up. And guess I gotta say, hey, you guess put more money and work my tail end off at work and try to help myself and continue to work 5 days a week and bust my rear end, which I have been doing. But anyway, so yeah, you guys wouldn't believe who I saw on Facebook today. I literally saw Benny on Facebook. And yes, he is back on Facebook, just to let you guys know. So if you do see him, or if you know this man, you're advised to block him off of Facebook and, don't be friends with him. Because basically, he's just to fool people. That's all he's trying to do is, all that. But anyway, guys, I got one more day left of work and I'll be on my vacation. And I gotta say, guys, I really wished that for me and my two roommates, that the state of Texas would have came in and paid for our rent. How is it fair that we're being charged this money and yet the state of Texas says, oh, the people got jobs, they could pay their rent, they could do paycheck to paycheck and make amends meet, this and that. To me, I think it is unfair that we have to pay this money out of our pocket every month, and wishing that the state of Texas would help a lot of us in need. Now, I think all of us should be given help. Ones that are just struggling. I never thought that this start of the year would go down this easily, But anyway. I I got a cousin who gets help to get her rent paid by the state of Texas. And she don't have to pay it out of her check. But to all of us that have to, I think that's just unfair. I think all of us should have the state of Texas pay the rent for us. And there's this one time that I went down to SWF and I said, hey, I was wondering if I qualify for rent relief. And they said, well, let's check your checking account and see what's going on. And they said, well, you're in a negative balance of $36 and something cents. I don't know what it was, but that's what they told me. And So anyway, they told me to cut back on things. They said, well, you need to cut back on eating out. You need to cut back on purchasing from whatever. They would not help me. Man, they wanted to help me get rent relief. And so, you know, I just really think that having this inflation is just plumb stupid. I mean, it really is. I think about it all the time. Why are we having to deal with this crap every day? Oh, it's because Democrats think inflation is good, but I tell you one thing, it's not good. I mean, when you think about it, they're saying, oh, inflation's good. No, it's not. I mean, I don't know why they're saying that. I mean, what kind of reality do they live in? Guess they got a bunch of rocks in their heads or a bunch of cuckoo birds. Cuckoo, cuckoo. You get the whole idea. I'm not being political. I'm not going to sound like I am, but I just feel like that there are a lot of them in office that would vote for the prices to go up, the inflation to go up, all these things, food, gas, groceries, rent, all of it. They expect it to go up. It's been like that for the last 4 years. And, what can we do, I guess? But, I can't say anything else about all what's going on right now. Yeah, boy, his phone is sure is loud. But anyway, I'm gonna come in the closet so I don't have to hear their conversation. It's kind of nice and quiet in here because it gives us a lot to think about. But I think this is one way that we may adapt. We'll figure things out. And I know I got help. I know I got my grandma, I got my family. And whatever happens, I always got backup if I need it. But anyway, trying to rebuild is pretty hard, especially when you got all these bills. And like I said, wishing that we had rent relief and all types of reliefs here. It would be very nice. I mean, I'm just saying. But anyway, it's just kind of stupid the way that I think that all of us are being treated. But hey, if you feel the same, write down in the comments below and tell me what you're feeling. I mean, have your rent gone up or this or that? I mean, write me down. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.